Hello, the purpose of this Anytime Anywhere workshop is to show my faculty how to add an MP3 file as an item in Blackboard. There's a specific icon for adding audio components, and they can be pulled then either from your desktop or they can be placed in your content system and linked to there. If you're using the same MP3 file repeatedly, then I would suggest putting it in your content system. For right now, we're just going to use this little add item, and when we are finished, your MP3 file will look like the item that you see here in front of you. This is just an item that's been added, and now we're going to add one ourselves. So we click the Add Item icon. Now if you're asked to trust a Java, please do so, because that means that these icons in these 3 rows that you see here above the text box will be available. And I want to draw your attention here to this fourth one, 1, 2, 3, 4, excuse me, the fifth one in the 3rd row, because this one is how you add audio content, as you will see if you hover your mouse over it. So if we click on this little icon here, we're presented with a dialog box where we can either browse to our desktop and find an MP3 file that we've saved, or we can browse to the content system where we've uploaded an MP3 file, and the advantage there is you put it in one location and link to it in 5 courses, so you don't have to upload it 5 times. But if you're only using it once in one course, it makes sense to just pull it from your desktop. So that's what we're going to do. And on my desktop I have a Moonlight Sonata that I'm opening, and you can see here that we have the path now and Blackboard knows where it is. I don't recommend telling auto start yes or loop yes. I recommend just leaving those set to no, and you can decide to use full controls if you would like to. I'm going to put the title here in alt text and then submit. Now it's finished loading the MP3 file, and depending on the length, some of them might be a few minutes at loading. And you have this little play bar here where you have the triangle play button, you have a volume button where you can adjust the volume, you have a fast forward and a save. So I'm going to submit and finalize this. Don't worry that it looks empty. It really will be there once you click your final submit, and I like to track the number of views so that I know how many people have viewed that object. Okay. Alright, as you can see, it's been successfully uploaded, so I'm going to click OK. And here is our MP3 file. The new one is always at the bottom, so I've now moved it up to the top. And I'm going to hit play so that we can hear if it plays. And yes, it does play. So this is a way that you can take your MP3 podcast recordings and you can upload them into Blackboard to share them with students that may or may not be using iTunes. So by just adding an item and using the 3rd row icons and the 5th one, which is add audio content, you can add MP3 files as well as other WAV files, etc., to your Blackboard course.